I have Jack Gilroy from Veterans for Peace, Binghamton Chapter 90, on the line. Hey, Jack. It's great to speak with you. Thank you for your time.
Bob, we're really happy to discuss our efforts toward peace. As you know, we're trying to make peace popular.
Indeed. So, anyway, let's get right into it. Now, I understand that back in 2015, you met Bernie Sanders. So tell me, what was that like?
Well, Bob, it was hopeful. My wife and I shook his hand, and he sort of, meandered around the crowd and shook thousands of hands. And we all felt that this was the beginning of something great, the cheering of the crowd. But you know how that story went.
Yes, I do. The Democratic Party backed Hillary Clinton instead, even though she was one of the loudest voices for the Iraq War.
Exactly, for sure. In 2003, she said, "We have the weapons. Why not use them?" It's a statement that could have come from Bush himself.
Yeah. But she lost to Trump. And then, Bernie tried again in 2020.
Exactly. But he was edged out by Biden. Biden, a man who, despite never serving in the military, he built his career supporting wars and weapons.
What is it with the Democrats and war? They've claimed to be a party of peace.
For sure. Yeah, claims are cheap. They're consistently opposing anti-war voices like Dennis Kucinich and Bernie Sanders. They backed the Bush wars, the Vietnam War. Well, the list is huge. It goes on and on.
It does. Now, if I recall, didn't Biden also support NATO expansion after the Cold War?
He did. In 1991, Russia asked the West not to expand NATO toward its borders, even wanted to join NATO. Instead, we, the West, the United States, placed nuclear weapons on their doorstep. People today can't imagine if Russia did that to us.
Well, I don't need to imagine it. I was in the 6th grade when JFK was president during what we called the Cuban Missile Crisis. I still vividly remember hiding under my desk at school as we listened to a live broadcast of the news telling us we could be moments away from nuclear war.
That's right. I was a teacher in 1962 when a student overdosed on aspirin because she feared dying in a nuclear holocaust. That fear is back. And yet now it's all just, well, ho-hum.
I wonder if today we are closer to the possibility of nuclear war than we were back then. But it seems to me few people are concerned about it.
Bob, we've become desensitized, just like we have to the genocide in Gaza. Biden called himself a Christian Zionist. Blinken, a Jewish Zionist, stood fully behind Netanyahu, a man who avoided arrest warrants worldwide and cheered on multiple wars.
Jack, talk to me about what happened in 2014 that set the stage for the current Ukraine situation. Didn't the U.S. play a big role in that?
We surely did. The CIA, with the help of the Brits, helped overthrow Ukraine's elected president, Yanukovych, who wanted friendlier ties with Russia. Billions were spent to make it happen. It was a turning point.
People need to know that is when the war profiteers started cashing in all over again and at an accelerated rate.
Well, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, General Dynamics, and others, they made a killing, literally. The price of 155 millimeter shells quadrupled. And right at Endicott, a mile or so away from my home door, BAE Systems makes guidance tech for those shells, those 155 millimeter shells with laser and GPS, $100,000 apiece.
And now, Gaza.
Well, yes, today is day 643 of the slaughter as we speak. Congress applauds Netanyahu while Gazans are starved and they're bombed. This is blood money, once again, over and over, blood money.
Our elected officials, very beholden to the merchants of death, it seems to me, they don't have a conscience.
Well, Bob, Bernie still has a conscience. He's proud to be Jewish and he speaks out. He supports Zoran Mamdani, a democratic socialist whose recent victory in New York City is really a sign of hope, real hope.
Yeah, and then there's AIPAC, and they have a considerable hold on Congress.
They most certainly do. They threaten to unseat anyone who doesn't back Israel unconditionally, and they're pretty damn successful at it.
You know, even some of our New York State Democratic politicians made racist comments about Mamdani. But Bernie Sanders, an independent who cooperates with the Democrats, Bernie has praised his courage.
Yes, Bernie said Mamdani didn't shy away from the moral issues, ending U.S. support of Netanyahu's extremist government. Mamdani understands that criticizing inhumanity isn't anti-Semitism, it's integrity.
Integrity indeed. So, where do we go from here?
Well, many of us believe it's time for a new Democratic Party, one that values life over war, diplomacy over destruction.
I think that would be great. Now, we keep hearing things, sometimes even from the Democrats, saying, we're better than this.
Well, we sure do keep saying it, but, now is the time to prove it.
I totally agree. Well, Jack, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate your input, your knowledge, and your efforts in trying to make peace popular.
Bob, you're surely welcome. For this, I have time, but please don't thank me for my military service.
Well, I will thank you for your efforts to make peace popular. Thank you, Jack. Now, if you'd like to know more about Veterans for Peace, you can find us online at veteransforpeace.org. There you can also find out if there is a local chapter in your area. You might even be able to start one if there isn't. Many say lasting peace is a fantasy. They say, oh, it sounds beautiful, but it's naive. I'm not convinced of that. I say the reason peace might not be possible is because it has been crowded out by an obscenely huge military budget and lobbying by the profitable merchants of death. When have we ever invested anything close to the time, money, or effort to achieve peace and understanding as we have for military capability? Our military budget is now over $1 trillion, and it has been huge for decades. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars over time, untold hours of labor, vast intellectual resources, and generations fully devoted to prepare for, to engage in, and to recover from war, all in the name of establishing and protecting democracy. Where's the equivalent investment in peace? There's no such thing as the Department of Peace Building. I say, peace is not the unattainable fantasy. It is not a naive goal. Maybe it has simply been denied a fair chance to compete with the military spending. Anyhow, thanks for listening. I'm Bob Greaves, also a member of Veterans for Peace, participating with the Binghamton Chapter 90. Thank you for listening.